guys, it's your girl Don't Touch My Toys, and today we're going to be talking all about Takara Jenny and all her friends. If you thought that Barbie had a lot of friends, you're in for a surprise because Jenny has over 38 friends in her collection. Not only does Takara Jenny have a lot of friends, she has a lot of boyfriends as well. I've been on this quest with Takara Jenny collecting for the last 5 years pretty seriously. I've been trying to get at least one of each friend in my collection. I'm getting close to my goal. I'm currently at 39 friends and boyfriends combined. So today we're going to get a closer look at all of the different Jennies I have in my collection, as well as all the friends, look at all the details of their faces, the different hair colors they have, the different styles that they have. And I'll even share some of the fun facts that I've read about them. So this is the gal of the hour. Here are just a fraction of my Jenny dolls. I have 26 different Jenny dolls in my collection, and I like to pick Jennies that all have different looks to them. This is a variety of different types of Jennies. We have Totoko Jenny, we have 18 Jenny, we have New Jenny, and Original Jenny. All the Jennies, we have at least one of them in my collection. This is one of my favorite Jennies in my collection. I also really love these Totoko Jennies and their lingerie. So a little bio about Jenny is she is a 17-year-old high school student from Los Angeles. She's born on August 1st under the sign of Leo. Her father's a film producer and her mother is a designer. She's a cheerleader at school, but she also has modeling experience and has made her debut as an actress in musicals. Jenny is good at all kinds of sports, especially horse riding and scuba diving. So Jenny's history started back in 1981 under the name Barbie. It was a collaboration with Mattel, and then in 1986 Mattel decided to withdraw their license with Takara, and that's when Takara decided to name her Jenny. So after that, Mattel decided to collaborate with another Japanese company named Bandai, which you're probably familiar with, and they produced what we call Maba Barbie, and that was from 1986 to 1989. And if you don't know, Maba is basically a combination of both Mattel and Bandai. A little known fact about Jenny is that she was made after a real-life model named Agnes Lam, who was a young TV personality who originally came from Hawaii and was very popular in Japan in the late 70s. A lot of the people liked her features at the time and that she was exotic and a little bit Japanese in appearance. So Jenny's big eyes and cute face are said to resemble Agnes Lam's. So much like Barbie and Mattel, Jenny has collaborated with a lot of top tier fashion brands, which is really cool. I feel like she can really rock all sorts of different kinds of fashions, something sexy, something punk rock, something modest, something cute, something sweet. She really has a lot of versatility to her. So here I've put side by side Jenny in the middle. We have Maba Barbie to the right, and then we have Lika-chan to the left. As you can see, Lika-chan kind of reminds me of like a Skipper doll. She's smaller in size and she just has a very childlike, sweet, innocent face. Then to the right we have Maba Barbie, which was the collaboration between Mattel and Bandai. I do collect some Lika-chan dolls, but I'm not actively searching for more for my collection. I do have a couple of Maba Barbies that are in my collection. Most of them are in box and I don't intend to really take them out, but I felt it was important to have at least a Maba in my collection. So Jenny is hands down my favorite out of these three. I just think that because she has so much backstory and history, I love that all of her friends have little stories. I love that even her boyfriends have some beef with each other. I just think that's hilarious and it makes me gravitate to this doll series so much more. So here is Miss Jenny with 5 of her 7 boyfriends. I'm still missing Tomoki and Takumi, but I think that's so fun that she had so many boyfriends. What a queen! She's a queen that doesn't settle. You go, girl. You know your worth. All right, so we're going to start in alphabetical order. This is Jenny's friend, Abel, who is apparently 15 years old, and she's one of Jenny's youngest friends. She comes from Switzerland, and her birthday is March 28th, so she's an Aries. So it's so funny, but in the Takara universe, they also provide the blood type of each doll. So apparently, Abel is a type A blood type. She appeared first in 1990 as one of the members of Jenny's mates. She's shy and enjoys the company of cows and sheep. She's a little bit of a crybaby and considers Jenny as an elder sister. So this is the Abel that I have in my collection. I only have one, but she's super sweet. So my next Jenny friend is Aiko, and I hope I'm pronouncing these right. I mean, some of these I'm sure may have different pronunciation, but give me a little bit of grace. So Aiko was introduced in 2003. She was a calendar girl for the month of October. She is 16 years old. She has the same sign as I do. She's a Sagittarius, born on December 23rd in Tokyo, Japan. They actually didn't give a blood type on her, and that's what's kind of I don't know, there's a lot of mystery with a lot of these Jenny friends because some of them have more thorough backgrounds listed on resources online, and then some of them you don't really know much of anything about them. So it's really fun to discover new fun facts about each of these, and if you have any new fun facts about any in this video, please drop them in the comments because I would love to hear more information if you have any. So this doll is actually one of my most recent Takara doll purchases. In the description on the proxy service I used, it was just listed as Jenny doll. So I was expecting a Jenny, but when she came, I was like, wait a second, this does not look like Jenny. This is one of her friends, but I'm not sure which one. As luck would have it, it was a friend I don't have yet. So that was super fun. This is Annie. She's another one of those that doesn't have a whole lot of a bio going on, but Annie's specs are she's age 16 and she is a Libra, born in New York City, and she has a blood type of B. So this is my Jenny friend named Aya. She is a Totoko version, which I believe was a department store in Japan. So I think these are like kind of special releases. I actually have a few of the Totoko dolls in my collection, but I don't know a whole lot about them. I just know that when I do see them, they always seem to be a little bit more like signature type dolls. Anyhow, she's really pretty. I haven't unboxed her yet, but I love the way her eyes look. They're very different from a lot of the other Jenny friends you're gonna see in my collection. She's super, super pretty. She is 18 years old and she's a Virgo apparently with a blood type A. Her birthplace is just Japan. No city or prefecture is determined. All right, so moving on, we're getting to Jenny's first boyfriend in alphabetical order. This is Charles. He is 20 years old. He's a Capricorn born on January 1st, and he was born in Scandinavia. So he appeared in 1990 for the first time as a new boyfriend, and he was also cousin of one of Jenny's friends named Timote. Apparently, he is a prince who escorted Princess Jenny to the ball in Vienna and taught her dancing and etiquette. He's one of the first boyfriends of Jenny I ever received in my collection, but super, super cool. Often he's called Prince Charles, but he doesn't always dress in a prince outfit. So next we have Elise. I actually have two of them in my collection. They just have different hairstyles, but they're both super, super cute. They are 17 years old, born on March 17th, making them a Pisces, and they were born in the UK with a blood type of AB. Elise does have a little bit more backstory that's available about her online. Apparently, she's a sweet-tempered girl who loves animals, and she's really good at tennis. All right, now moving on to Ellie. Apparently, there is an earlier release of Ellie, which they classify as old Ellie, and then there's regular Ellie. I don't know which is which, to be honest with you. I just know that both of these are an Ellie of some sort. Apparently, Ellie first appeared in 1984 when Jenny was still called Maba Barbie or just Barbie. And then she was released as a different character in the first generation of Jenny's Club. The quote-unquote new Ellie was put on the market in 1992, and she was a little taller and she was a year older. So the stats on Ellie are that she's 18 years old. She's also a Capricorn. Birth date was January 13th. She is another one of those Jenny friends that was born in New York City, and she has a blood type B. So one interesting point about Ellie is that apparently she didn't test too well in the market with children. According to what I've read online, she was really popular amongst Takara employees, but when they ran tests with children, they didn't gravitate to her whatsoever. With those stats in mind, she almost didn't make it to production, but the staff at Takara loved her so much that they wanted to give her a go. After all was said and done, they went ahead and released Ellie, and she ended up being very popular. And in fact, amongst adult doll collectors that collect Takara, I've noticed that a lot of people really love Ellie. A lot of people really, really like this face sculpt. Apparently, they did a questionnaire to find out what their average buyer was for this particular doll, and it turned out that the average buyer of this doll was a 27-year-old female. So the adult collector definitely gravitated more to Ellie, but nonetheless, she was successful on the market. So some extra information about Ellie is that she's very open and outgoing and makes friends easily. So as you can see here, I have a tan version of Ellie, and her hair looks more like dreads or braids. And then I also have the Ellie with green hair. I was extremely lucky, and one of my doll friends from the East Coast found, like, I don't even remember, like 20 plus Takara dolls at their thrift store. And they contacted me to see if I wanted them to pick up any for me, and I just like geeked. I really felt bad asking for all of them, but I was like, oh my gosh, like please, like get me as many as possible, because that just doesn't happen for me. These dolls are really hard for me to find, especially all the different face sculpts. I think I find Jenny a lot more frequently than I do the friends of Jenny. I did not hesitate to ask for all of the ones I was really interested in, and my friend was so kind to ship all of those to me, and that's what really bulked up my Takara Jenny friend collection. So thanks again if you're watching this, Barbie Dream Bay. Like, I know I've thanked you many times before, but wow, I still don't think that they realize how amazing that thoughtfulness was, because it really helped me accomplish my goal of crossing more of these Jenny friends off of my list. All right, this is Erica. She is 16 years old, born on July 22nd, making her the sign of Cancer. She was born in China, and she has a blood type of B. Apparently, Erica is a sweet-natured girl, and she loves flowers. So here are my Flora dolls. Flora is another one of those that has a old Flora version. Funny enough, the old Flora has a different birth date than new Flora. I believe all of the ones that I have in my collection are considered new Flora. So she is 17 years old, born on November 30th. She also is a Sagittarius. She was also born in Scandinavia. Apparently she's a strong-spirited, though her character remains on the childish side. The Floras that I have displayed here all look like they're different heights, but they're just wearing different types of shoes, so they all are actually the same height. So this is Francois. She's the only Francois I have in my collection. She's 18. She's a Virgo that was born on September 5th in France. So Francois is a high school student with refined dress sense who likes Chanel suits. So this girl has expensive tastes. She looks mature beyond her years, and it's probably because she has those beautiful, rather sad blue eyes. So here we have Jane. She is 17 years old, born on August 2nd, and she lives in a Southern American island but has Japanese origins. She loves aquatic sports and is not only a student but also a sports instructor. She was the very first friend of Jenny with an open mouth. So here we have Jeff. He first appeared as Ken back in 1985, and then he was renamed Jeff after Takara lost their Mattel license. Jeff has always been the main boyfriend of Jenny, but we'll get into that a little bit more later. He's the captain of the basketball team. He's good at tennis and cycling. Jeff is 18 years old, and he's an Aries, so Jenny likes those fire signs. He was born in Los Angeles and has a blood type of O. So this is Judy. She's 17 years old, and she comes from Paris, France, with blood type B and the sign of Cancer. Judy is described as a bright, cheerful girl who likes singing and playing the keyboard. She'd like to be a singer or an actress when she's older. Judy is extremely popular, and very few collectors ever part with her. Up next, we have two versions of Julia that I have in my collection. Julia's from Japan, Yokohama to be specific, and she's 16 years old. She's a bit of a spoiled child, but she's strong-willed. She loves sports like tennis and figure skating and dreams of being an idol singer one day. So this is the only Juliana in my collection. She's still in her box. Juliana's from England, and she's 18 years old with a blood type O. So, little tidbit about Juliana, she was named after an extremely famous disco that was in Tokyo where the girls used to dance in really tiny dresses and feather fans. So that would explain why she has the adorable feather fan in her box. She met Jenny in a disco and she loves music and especially the keyboard. Surprisingly, she also loves cooking. Moving on to the Kaoris in my collection, she's 17, a Libra born on October 5th, and she was born in Kanagawa Prefecture of Japan. Jenny met Kaori in Hawaii. Kaori is a very active young girl who loves marine sports. She also likes music. All right, moving on to Kisara. I have a lot of her in my collection. As you see, 8 different versions of her here. A few of these came in that mega haul that Barbie Dream Base sent me, but I just find Kisara a lot easier than I do the other friends of Jenny, so I have quite a few in my collection. I think Kisara in general is just a very popular friend of Jenny, and a lot of collectors really gravitate to her. When you look on eBay for Jenny friends, you're going to find a lot of listings for Kisara in particular. She has so many versatile looks, which is really cool, and it makes it hard to just have one. I have seen so many different versions of her that I fall in love with, and I end up purchasing multiples of her. These are my absolute keeps that I don't intend to get rid of in my collection, but I have had even more that I've parted with. I personally think that Kisara has a very mature look to her, which is funny because when you read her stats, she's supposed to be 16 years old. She also is a fiery Sagittarius born on December 1st, and she was born in Japan with a blood type of O. So this is Laura. She is one of my most recent Jenny friends that I added to my collection. She is born on March 18th, making her a Pisces. She's 17 years old and she was born in Canada with blood type B. So this is Lisa, and not gonna lie, she is my least favorite Jenny friend in my entire collection. I don't know what it is about Lisa's face that just throws me off. She doesn't look as cute as the other friends of Jenny to me, but what can you do, you know? I had to have her in my collection because she's one of the friends that I needed. This is my Lisa doll. She's 18 years old. She also is a fire sign. She's an Aries, and she was born in Australia with a blood type of O. So some of the stats that I read about her is that her face is quite different from the other dolls. She is less quote-unquote cartoon-like and more human-like. She loves nature and animals, outdoor life, and sports. She'd like to become a vet. Let me know if you agree though. Compared to the other dolls up to this point, what do you think about Lisa? I give her maybe a 4 out of 10. Up next we have Lobedia. She's also one that I just recently required in January. She is 17 years old. She's a Scorpio. Ooh, one of my favorite signs. Born on October 29th from Belgium with a B blood type. She likes colorful and cute fashions, and this is actually her original outfit because I have not restyled her yet, but she's gonna have a new look very soon. Moving on to Louise. She's 17 years old. She's a Gemini, born on May 22nd in Los Angeles, California, with the blood type of O. Apparently, she's a typical American girl who loves rock music. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. And I dressed her up in leather. Look at me. So this is Marine, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly because I don't know if it's pronounced in a Japanese pronunciation or if it's just Marine, but there's a whole slightly complicated backstory of Marine and why she became quote-unquote Marine. She looks a lot like Jenny, and apparently that's because she is Jenny, but I guess they were trying to market different types of Jenny series, and because of that, there was some conflict between the story that they were pitching behind the series of dolls, because the children who were buying those dolls were like, well, how is there 2 Jennies in the same group? That doesn't make sense. So they ended up calling this version Marine. So there would be a clear separation of, I guess, what she looks like versus the other Jenny. I don't know, you could read into it online, but anyway, that's why she looks a lot like Jenny. And I put mine on a made to move curvy body so we can have at least one thick queen in my Takara Jenny collection. So I'm not quite sure how to pronounce this gal's name. I don't know if it's Mayrin, not too sure, but she's from Hong Kong, so I'm not quite sure how the pronunciation goes, so forgive me if I'm completely mispronouncing her name. But she's 17 years old. She's a Gemini. As I mentioned previously, she's from Hong Kong. She has a AB blood type. They classify her as a clever girl who can speak 6 languages. Ooh, impressive. And here we have Mike, another one of Jenny's boyfriends. He appeared in 1992 as a new boyfriend to Jenny because, you know, our girl likes to have a little variety. God bless her. He is friend to Jane, which is one of the friends we previously discussed. Seems that he'll never be more than a good friend to Jenny, though. Oh, she friend-zoned him. He's a sports instructor. He's good at everything, but especially at skateboard, but certainly not good at keeping Jenny as his girl. He's 19 years old, born on July 31st, making him a Leo, and he was born in LA with a blood type of A. Here we have Milfway. She is 16 years old. She's also a fire sign in Aries, born on April 16th. She is from France, and she has a blood type of O. Of course, little fact about her, she loves baking. How appropriate, since her name is based off of a French puff pastry. So this is Mitsuki. She is 15 years old, born on March 9th, making her a Pisces. She was born in Tokyo, Japan with a blood type of O. Not much else was stated about her online, so if you know more about Mitsuki, please let me know. I actually had more than one of her, but it was the exact same sculpt, so I narrowed down my collection to just this one. Moving on to one of my favorite new additions. This is Nanako Hoshizawa. She is 18 years old. She is also a Cancer, born on July 11th from Minato, Tokyo. She has a blood type of A, and she's a high school student with a part-time job at 7-Eleven. I'm obsessed with her. I think it's so cool that she works at 7-Eleven and that she comes with a uniform. She was a must-have. Love her, obsessed with her. Up next, we have Naomi. I have a couple of these in my collection. Naomi is 19 years old. She was born on September 23rd, making her a Libra. Her birthplace is only disclosed as Japan. I haven't heard much else about Naomi's bio, so if you have any other interesting facts about her, I'd love to hear about them. Here we have Olive. She is 17 years old. She's a Pisces, born on March 3rd. She was born in France with a blood type of A. She has a special talent for hair and makeup and advises all the other girls. And she's a counselor in a beauty salon called Pretty Room. So here's another one of Jenny's boyfriends. This is Raf. He is 19 years old, born on July 22nd. He's a Cancer. Birthplace was London, England, and blood type of AB. The Raf on the right is actually a brand new Raf that I just got today. I just unboxed him, so that's why he's still in like his undergarments. So we have to give him a restyle. Some of the stats about Raf is that he intends to be an architect. He's cool and a bit of a playboy, but he's also gentle and kind. So this is Rie. She's 16 years old and her birthplace is Japan. I can't find any other information about her online. This is one of the dolls I have the most difficulty identifying. I always seem to confuse her with Kisara, and when I'm identifying them, sometimes I can be thrown off. But apparently the main difference is that Kisara has more of an arched eyebrow and Rie has more of a straight, soft eyebrow. Up next, we have Rosanna. She is 19 years old. She's a Scorpio, born on October 27th from Barcelona, Spain with a B blood type. Rosanna has a little bit of a background. She is studying art at the university and she works part-time as a tourist guide. Her hobby is flamenco. She's a strong, mature character and she has a deep respect for Picasso. Another fun fact is she can tell fortunes. She met Jenny at a festival in LA when Jenny was back home for the holidays during her studies abroad, and the two sometimes go on diving holidays to the sea together. I feel like Rosanna has a very mature face to her, and even just the red lipstick is a very bold look, so make her look a little bit more sophisticated and mature. This is Jenny's friend Sheena. She's 17, a Libra, and she's from Denmark with a B blood type. Her bio states that she studies intensely and spares no effort to become an actress one day. She can speak 4 languages. She also likes fortune telling and ballet, and she likes cool looking clothes. So this is the only Sherry doll that I have in my collection. She's 18, a Gemini, born on May 28th. She's from Spain with an A blood type. Sherry's bio states that she's a bright and kind girl and she goes to the same ballet school as Jenny, but is reputed to be a better dancer. I rebodied my Sherry doll onto a curvy made-to-move Barbie body, and I love her in this body type. Up next we have Shion. She is 17 years old. She's also a Capricorn, born on January 5th from Japan. Unfortunately, I haven't found much information about Shion, so I don't have a biography on her, which bums me out because I feel like she has so many cool sculpts and I've seen so many different versions of her. I wish that I had a little backstory behind her. Here we have Susie. She's 18. She's an Aquarius, born on February 3rd, so she just had a birthday. She was born in Hong Kong with an AB blood type. And that's all I have for Susie. Poor Susie doesn't have a backstory available online, so if you know any facts about her, let me know. So this beautiful gal is Tamaki. She's 17 years old, born on December 22nd. She's a Capricorn and she's from Tokyo, Japan. No other information is available for her online that I've found, so again, let me know if you know any other fun facts about Tamaki. So we're coming down to the last two in my personal collection. This is Timothée. She's 18. She's a Cancer, born on June 23rd. Apparently she's Scandinavian and she's a real princess. She's related to one of the Jenny boyfriends that we mentioned earlier, Charles, aka Prince Charles. So they're related. So this is my very last friend in alphabetical order from my Jenny collection. This is Tom. This is another one of Jenny's boyfriends. He's 18. He is a Sagittarius, born on November 23rd, and he's from California. As I've mentioned previously, Jenny has a lot of boyfriends. I mean, way more compared to other dolls that are out there, like Barbie, for instance, who really just had kin. Tom on the right is African American, and he's actually the very first African American doll in the Jenny series. So the bio on Tom is that he's very good at dancing and all the girls look at him when he dances in the street. So I'm assuming he's like a break dancer or a b-boy, which is really cool. So when I purchased the doll on the right, his box art was just hilarious that I had to cut it out and keep it as just a keepsake. So on Tom's box art, there was this image of Jeff versus Tom, and it looks like they're about to get into a fight. And look at Jenny in the background looking worried, like, no guys, don't fight over me, knowing damn well she caused this. If you ask me, I think Tom is such a cool character in the Jenny universe. I can't believe that Jeff was ever Jenny's main boyfriend when you have a Tom out there. So thanks so much for joining me today on my collection of Takara Jenny and all of her friends. I hope you enjoyed this, and I do intend to add those last 15 friends to my collection as soon as possible. I do want to shout out that the resource I use to help identify my Jenny dolls, as well as find out more information about them, is the website www.barbiegirl.com. I will link it in the bio, and until next time, I'll catch you later.